the fate of randomness here. So
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you're really good on your other two saves. So,
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, don't help him.
hello.
I-
We made it. Joe, this is your rodeo. You
We're live.
do the things.
Yeah. It's Friday night, and
The feeling's right.
we're not playing other one-shots or anything. So now that means we're playing Anvea, the game I've been working on for
18 years?
some amount of time. I think a little over 2 years. Definitely not constantly during those 2 years. Like I did like half of the work in the first 3 months that I worked on it, and then like redid the other half. But yeah, slightly stalling because I'm hoping Tyler's gonna pop in here.
yeah. Secretly, you've actually been working
on
it for like 27 years of your 21-year life.
Yes. Yeah.
Highly accurate.
Highly accurate.
Yeah.
This isn't filler either. We're talking about real stuff right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's his 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the maiden campaign. So we've played a few one-shots and things, but this is going to be the first multi-session, well, more than two. I think the longest we've done is a 2-shot.
Something like that.
So far. Yeah. So we'll get to see what leveling up's like. We'll get to see all the mechanics I forgot to write. All sorts of goodness like that. And dragging you all through it with me. So it'll be fun.
All right. I love to be dragged places. Wait.
Yep. A little bit on it too. This game is mainly meant to be setting agnostic because it started as I like Heart, but I didn't want to run Heart in Heart because I have my game world called Anvea. That's what the name is. Every game I've ever run has been in Anvea the world, and I wanted to run a game like Heart in it, but I couldn't because Heart's very lore locked. Heart's very good, but when you play it, it is Heart and only Heart. Yeah. Still no Tyler, so I guess
we
we'll
move
just
on.
Go into
he'll
it.
show up when he shows up.
Yeah.
He'll show up. Yeah. So yeah. Last time we were in the world of Anvea was back in our Valoran campaign. And far from those previous events where you guys fought the incredibly vain Lich Athenheimer and thwarted his attempts to harness the might of this eldritch abomination that he accidentally made. We are in a different part of the world on a smaller continent called Mirandel. They say that Mirandel was once a land of great technologies and magical progress, but today it's a little bit more somber as people are striving to rebuild a lot of stuff that their ancestors lost. But right now is better than it was at its worst point. You can see the stars again, and the Echo Blight rarely stretches this far west anymore. But as the cities continue to grow and branch out, there's new problems as forgotten borders are once being contested again. People are trying to redraw maps, some that fared better and all the hardship feel like they can take more land than they had before. So there's all sorts of like political intrigue and the types of things that you have more time for when you're not just trying to make it to the next day.
Shit, Steven just threw out 500 bits. Joe, that is trouble for you.
Wow.
Yay.
Thank you,
Starting
Steven.
off with the hatred, Steven. He chose violence today.
It's been a while since he put a down payment on Chuck. So
yeah,
that's
had
true.
It coming,
that's true.
To be fair.
It's very true.
Gonna get
Honestly,
my
I'm just
killed.
surprised that Steven has any bit money being at Gen Con right now. I know last year I absolutely obliterated all of my money.
It's an expensive place to be.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. If you want to buy things. But yeah, no, a trouble is good because there's definitely ways that I can use that tonight. Yeah, where was I? All sorts of new problems that people are running into as they're not in just pure survival mode anymore. Starting to get more comfort which gives you more idle time to bicker about other types of things. There's been talks of spies from the west and inquisitors from the north, a curse to the east, and beasts from the south. And lots of new opportunities for an adventurer to finally stake their name and go out and make some coin again. So you all find yourselves now in the middle of a large festival. And it's been going on for a little bit. It's probably about an hour or so in, early in the day. And you all see a large, kind of portly fellow with a small little round hat. He's got a very like sharp, pointed beard that's like trimmed to like a very, very sharp triangle. You see him, he's kind of like struggling to hoist himself up onto a temporary stage. He's a little bit out of breath, but after he kind of rolls up there, he stands up and he brings this little metal thing out of his coat and starts clinking it, getting everyone's attention. He gives a speech saying, "So happy to see that you've all made it here. Welcome to Aerofeld's 45th Annual Trade Festival, commemorating the opening of the highways, passing through our lovely city of Westreach from as far south as Perth Rock all the way up to Levingale." Everyone kind of cheers at that. And he goes off on his speech. He talks a lot about how 300 years ago, the nation to the east was lost, that they gave into greed and hubris, as they say, and unfortunately it brought about their destruction. And to this day, people rarely even want to say the name. Just kind of bad omen over that entire area. And with that, it birthed the horrific wastes known now as the Deep Basin. Unfortunately, there are still some problems with that area. From that area, there's a thing called the Echo Blight. It's a curse that you've all have probably interacted with at some point here or another. It's said that the Echo Blight rained out because as that entire nation was destroyed in an instant, the death of those tens of thousands of people that all died rain out this big echo that corrupted people's souls and things. And there's kind of a lot of mysticism and stuff around it because it happened a long time ago, but that's what they say, is that this is like the echo of those dead souls that are corrupting the living.
Like one big giant disturbance in the force.
Yeah, just like
little
when
bit.
Alderaan happened.
Exactly like
Yeah, pretty much.
happened.
Except the
technically,
screaming
it's
just keeps
smaller.
going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just keeps
And-
going around the world over and over. Because that's how sound
Yep.
works.
It is.
A little bit. So yeah, those that are infected with the Echo Blight, some repeat it and echo it to this day, keeping it alive. But it's been a little bit less of a problem lately. It used to be all across this entire continent, but over the last few hundred years, it's been stamped out more and more. Now it's pretty much contained all the way over just on the east where that nation was. And with that, it's a little somber, and portly man's like kind of looks around and sees everyone's just kind of thinking too much about that. And he's like, "Oh, well, but things are better now. Like, we've got agriculture again. There's more trade and highways are open. So yeah, just have fun, everyone." And he doesn't really know how to end it, it looks, and kind of stumbles around and coughs and tumbles back off the stage.
I'll give him a little help and I'll shout out, "Let's party!"
Crowd erupts. All right. So yeah, now you're left to the festival. So it's basically, you're kind of in this small town that used to be on a highway that's recently reopened. There's all sorts of like old walls and things. It looks like this town used to be completely walled in, but most of it has kind of crumbled down and the wood's been reused. And you see all of these little stations all around town where people have set up games and activities and things for people to partake in. Some of the notable ones are axe throwing, drinking, crab racing, tug of war, wood cleaving, gambling, and there's a sign that says puffin toss.
Do we see the birds?
You see like feathers kind of going like through the air every so often. There's like little.
I
bits of
imagine that
feathers here and
game's
there.
going to run out of puffins to toss pretty quickly, so maybe that's what we do first.
I think so.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they all. Yeah.
Someone
Okay.
tossed all our puffins.
Oh no.
Oh no. It was
We'll
us.
say that's how you all meet. Is you all arrive at the puffin toss. You've heard of it before, but I don't think any of you have exactly done it. But you want to get in on the action early before all of the puffins have been tossed. And as you're all kind of standing in line, like waiting to get up to the front, you're all gathered around one of the last pieces of the old wall that's still standing. There's been this big kind of like staircase leading up to the top, and there's a little bit of like this offshoot, like what you call it, just a place for you to stand that they've kind of built out with scaffolding. And you hear all these kind of like chirps and ruffling of feathers as you see there's like lots of buckets of just these little baby puffins that are up at the top and
Nice.
clamoring around. While you're all in line, I guess we'll do character introductions. They're all standing there. So let's go around and have everyone introduce who they're playing. I'm going to do it in overlay that I see in Zoom. So, Chuck, who are you playing?
Be called Zoomale. Anyway,
Yes.
hi
Yeah.
everyone. I haven't figured out Rudigar's voice yet, but I am playing Rudigar 2 foot. Despite his name, he is 3 foot tall because he is a halfling. And I'm just a regular, everyday, normal kind of businessman. Not a thief, not shady and sneaky in any way. I'm very charming and lucky and dexterous and not so smart.
Awesome.
Yeah.
From there, we move on to John.
Yeah, I'm playing Lonan Darkheart, a gnome. He has a kind of like his hair is a very dark purple color. It looks almost black, but in sunlight you can kind of see that it does have some shades of purple to it. He has like mutton chops that are trimmed and they come down to like a point, and they actually kind of look like mandibles almost. He is got tattoos of there are basically they look like spider eyes just around his regular eyes. He's got 6 of them, and then every now and then you'll catch a glimpse that he does have it looks like a kind of an odd looking tattoo that's kind of sketchy looking in a way, but they're like almost like spider legs that extend like down his arms, and if you're to see him without a shirt on, that is how it would look as well.
All
And
right.
he's just a traveler.
Great. I love it. And as a gnome, which sense did you pick as your touch? Okay. Gnomes in my setting have synesthesia, and which is the sensation where your senses blend together. But they have it for magic. They can detect magic, but not as its own thing. It has to bleed into one of their other senses.
Although I did
So he
give
feels
serious
two touch.
consideration to taste, so I had to lick everything. But
I think I've
Yeah.
done that before. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured. I'm like, Chuck's been in this. I'm sure that's been done. So
Yeah, the trade-off is the more like the easier the sense is to use, the less detail you get out of it. So like with sight, you can like see where things are, but you don't really get much information about what it is.
Right.
But if you do taste, you can like lick it and know a lot of the properties. So
Shake a man's hand, you lick his knuckles. Ah, you're a vampire.
yeah, pretty much.
how could you tell? You didn't have a pulse.
Yeah.
Just
I
a
did-
feeling.
There, Dan, who are you playing?
I'm playing basically a paladin elf named Akar. Hopefully, I'm basically going to be using magic to fight and to heal, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes.
They'll go wonderfully. I'm excited. And then Jake, who are you playing?
I will be playing Ahab Levine Sherman, who is the token human of the party. He's a struggling monster hunter with brown hair with streaks of gray in it. He's really thin. He's got long limbs. Um, yeah, right now things are tough, but he's looking to get back into the saddle and get back into the action and, you know, first spend whatever money he's got left on this festival. But, he'll eventually get to adventuring again. Why not?
Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, you're all in line for the puff and toss. And you all kind of get grouped together because they're doing small groups of only like 4 to 5 people. And it just happens to work out that way that you 4 are grouped together, all standing in line. And you can't really see, you're like on the other side of the wall, and there's like a set of stairs. There's a few buildings on the other side. But it looks like as people make it up to the top of the stairs, they'll reach into one of these barrels of puffins and go over to the edge of the wall and just toss it off the side. Not sure why. You haven't really been told the rules or anything yet, but you seem to see a bunch of people just yeeting puffins off the side of this wall.
This is why we had to be here first.
Yeah. And getting where you're at in line now, as you look behind you, it looks like there's probably not going to be enough puffins by the time it gets to the end of the line. So you guys made a good call. But yeah, you slowly make your way up and up, and you're finally at the top. And at the top, there's like looks like an elvish woman. She's kind of dressed in like almost like zookeeper safari type getup, that you would see. She's got like kind of a wide brimmed hat. It's got two little cutouts for where her ears poke through it. And she's holding a little baby puffin in one of her hands and just kind of coddling it. And she says, "Oh, another round of puffin toss." And so we're like, "Have you played before? Were you here last year?"
No.
No, not in the
It
slightest.
sounds exciting.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
First time tosser.
How do we play this game here, Miss?
so really the reason why I do this is because puffins need to be tossed to learn to fly. They don't figure it out on their own. And
How's this
Well-
handled in nature?
usually if they live someplace that's got like a cliff or some sort of face, or they live up like in a tree, when they hatch, their parents will toss them from wherever, and that's where they're supposed to figure it out. But as the blights moved through, a lot of their habitat's been destroyed, and we've rescued a lot of these puffins. We've been raising them, trying to replenish the population once the trees come back, but they're not learning to fly, and that's really complicating things. So I was just doing it by myself for a while, then I got a few assistants, and now it's a festival game. So and she'll look over.
Right.
And you do see, like, looking over the edge, you don't see any like dead puffins like that just like hit the
Yes.
ground or anything. But you see like some have landed, and there's just feathers like everywhere. But he says, "Who wants to go first?"
Shit, I'm all in.
Yeah, okay,
All right.
sure. I'll do a good deed.
So there's 3 big just barrels full of these little puffins, and they're kind of
Puffins.
chittering.
Are the puffins making a lot of noise?
Yeah.
How big are the puffins?
They're pretty small, about that big,
I would
Maybe
like
like-
to try
6 to 8 inches.
and as I'm picking up a puffin to toss, I would like to take another puffin and then like slip it in my jacket.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it as a pet, and I'm gonna name it Puffin Daddy.
All right. I'd say give me a conceal test to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of commotion. So I'll say you can take advantage on this because there's just so many, and people have been like scooping them out of barrels and things, and they are pretty small.
Would you say we're in urban or common environments?
Yes. You're currently in common. I guess it's common and urban in this one. Yeah.
All right. 5. No. Yep. 4, 5, 6. And what does it mean when I have advantage?
You get to add 1 die to the pool.
All right.
Nice.
All right. 1 puffin to toss and 1 puffin to keep. And I'm going to save that puffin as my new child named Puffin Daddy.
Okay. So with that, you're able to set 1 inside. So this is the roll for you hiding the puffin.
Yep.
And you're able to get that. And then now, as you have the other puffin, are you just trying to throw it normally?
Oh, yeah.
Are you trying to do anything with it as you throw it? Okay. Give me just a force test.
All right. You got it. Yeah.
Or if there's a different skill that you feel like you want to utilize. Like,
force is plenty good.
force is pretty much the default.
Hey, I'll take 2.
2 successes. All right. So you throw the puffin, and it barely even loses any ground. It goes up and arcs and just keeps flying away. Has a little puff of feathers as it kind of starts shaking some of them loose that it hasn't used before.
Be free, you magnificent bastard.
Soars off into the sunset.
Glorious. All right.
All right. Who's
Step
next?
aside.
I'll go.
Okay.
Step up. Grab a puffin. Just 1. Just 1. And it's force, you said?
Yep. Unless there's another thing that you're trying to do, like if you're trying to aim it in a particular way, or
No, I've got a cantrip in force though.
okay,
Could I like
railgun this puffin?
Yeah, it's gonna think it's
Sure. If you roll bad though.
Oh my god.
All right, so for am I basing this on my because for my magic it's based on wisdom?
So this would be your wisdom attribute score plus the number of ranks you have in the force cantrip.
Okay.
Plus your whatever casting context you use.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Not bad.
1 success.
I'll take it.
And you do it. So how is this working? Like what are you using to cast this like force spell?
I hold it in my hand and I throw it out and it's there's a bit of a thwip sound and it's like a little spider web like web shooter kind of goes along with it but is kind of lifting and pulling as it's going.
I love it. Yeah, you just and send this puffin flying in this straight arc, and it's carried by the momentum of like your force spell for quite a while, and you can see like right when that ends, it kind of dips immediately and then catches itself and starts to flutter off, and it does the same. It flies away.
Nice.
Alrighty, who's next?
I'll give it a shot, and by which I mean I'll try to throw it like a shot. I'll try to shot put it through the air.
Damn.
Sure.
I should have used my bow.
Oh my gosh.
You could have.
Yeah.
2 successes again. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how are you attempting it? Like, what are you doing to?
I'm just grabbing it like a shot put, throwing my arm out, spinning around 2 or 3 times, and then just heaving it off this thing.
All right. So you spin around a few times with the puffin as you throw it. It's got like a football kind of spin on it, and kind of like arcs and barrel rolls a little bit as it's trying to straighten itself out, but it does the same thing. It kind of eventually flutters, it catches itself, begins to glide, and then takes off in the same direction the other 2 puffins did.
Be free.
Now, Dan.
All right. Yeah. So I can attempt to just work through a practice roll of the shenanigans. I'm going to use my magic to basically turn my sword into a frying pan and then just
Like a lacrosse stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how
Do it.
the question
So
is
you take the attribute that you're using to cast. So the number of wisdom score that you have, which I think is 5 for you, right?
Yep.
So 5 plus however many cantrips you have in physical or the melee.
Which is 7 or 2. Sorry, making 7.
Okay, 7, and then plus 1 for your context.
Yep, which is occult.
And so you pretty much always get that 1 for your context. The reason why you always get it though is because there are certain things that can take a context away from you or break your ability to use that context, and that fucks with your magic. So it seems like you always get it, but you don't necessarily always get it because of problems. But 3 successes. All right.
Yeah. 3 successes and 3 hexes. Thank goodness they don't count right now.
So are you like tennis racketing it, or are you putting it like in it and like?
I'm not going to clobber the thing. I imagine I'll just kind of put it in and just.
He serves it like you do in badminton. He just lobs it and
Yeah.
overhand, underhand, either way.
I'm not trying to annihilate it on impact.
Yeah. Okay, that was good. So yeah, you have your magic hilt that has nothing past it. It's just like the hilt of a sword, and you have your puffin in your hand. And as you go back, it seems to shape like perfectly to the size of this puffin, and it extends even a little bit as you're reeling back, and it gets farther and farther away. And you just have this huge amount of leverage as you yeet it, and it goes higher than any of the other ones had, soars above the rest, and then off into the sunset. So you have
nice cast iron skillet there.
Yeah, it's not good for cooking, but
yeah,
it's good for casting.
It appears
none of you killed the puffins. You did it.
Hooray!
Big damn heroes.
This is a real thing that I learned about the other day.
Is it
Puffins
really?
actually have, yeah. You actually have to, puffins have to be thrown to learn how to fly.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's kind of
if they don't have a way to fall to learn it.
And that's how
news thing
lacrosse
on
was
that.
invented.
We just need to implement that for all birds. Just like I'm walking through the
Yeah.
park, I see a little nest. I'm like, it's time to go. There's
Yep.
still eggs.
Oh, I threw it too early. I egged someone by accident.
Who egged my house? I was trying to help.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I'd rush it along.
fly like an eagle.
Nice.
Bald eagle now. It's no
Eagle
more.
Auto Wash
Yeah.
and Tanning Salon.
All right. Then the elf lady that facilitated it like bows and thanks you and points you all to go down the stairs. There's kind of like another side that you couldn't really see from the ground that much, because like this is pretty much just like a short bit of the wall that used to be the inner wall for this city, but the city's kind of grown past it, so they tore a lot of it down. So you see there's like another staircase to the other side that you're ushered down.
Do we get like a participation pin or like a certificate?
There are feathers that they've been picking up on the other side of the wall. Like little kids have been picking up all these feathers and putting them together, just making like little things, trying to sell them to people on the other side.
Little sticker that says "You
That's about it.
helped."
So before we leave this area, I do want to ask the lady here, just out of curiosity, what exactly do these little guys eat?
Oh, they eat whatever Google says.
Isn't this how last night's game went?
She pulls out her cell phone.
Yes,
Hold on a
it
second.
They're carnivores living off of small fish such as herrings and sand eels.
Yeah, because they're like close to the Arctic or Antarctic, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the southern
there's a
one.
few
Got it.
environments that they can. Yeah,
They're like penguins of the sky.
mostly meat, small like fish or things.
You're welcome, John.
Is there any other puffin facts that you would like to know? And she seems like very excited about.
What's their average lifespan?
About 20. Wow, about 20 years.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
a commitment right there.
I
They
don't know
like
this.
they mature after 6 years and they can live for about 20 years.
Nice.
The oldest puffin has lived to 41 years old.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Damn.
You might outlive my character.
My God.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
All right, That's all I needed to know.
Glad I could assist you with this knowledge I knew off the top of my head.
You got it. Very much a
Yeah.
wealth of instantaneous knowledge.
That's why you're the puffin expert.
That's
right.
how I got this job. Yeah.
Just
And I'm pretty sure if you never throw that puffin, it will never learn how to fly.
oh,
That's how we keep it from escaping us.
I was gonna say you
think there's
can't
like a-
leave me if you don't have the keys. That sounds terrible.
That does sound terrible. Like that's bad. That's real bad. How much meat's on a puffin? I'm just saying. Just
Hey.
for emergency purposes.
You leave Puffin Daddy out of this. Of course, now that I know if I keep him long enough, he'll become Puffin Granddaddy.
And so the kind that normally get tossed in real life are specific to like Iceland, that area. They look a little bit different. They're like more, they look closer to like a crow, but they've got like white on their front.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they toss some puffins. There's a whole bunch of other games. There's like gambling, drinking. Where's some of the other ones? Axe throwing, wood cleaving, crab racing, tug of war.
You gents fancy a drink?
I absolutely would love a drink.
Drinking is
Okay.
always good.
While we're walking over there, I do want to pay attention to the crab race. How big are these crabs?
They're pretty small, like freshwater crabs. And as you like look around for it, you see the crab racing lanes are just a bunch of like wooden boards that have been cut that the crabs are placed in sideways. And there's people just kind of like yelling at them to move, and they eventually like.
Don't
Run
worry,
down the
Puffin
track.
Daddy. I see what your dinner will be tonight.
Oh my god.
About the
It's
size
perfect.
that a puffin could eat it.
It's perfect. We start the crab race, and then we put the puffin at the beginning of the racetrack.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Didn't Joe
you just,
have
like,
to put up
flash your
with
puff-
another one of our games where we just fucking cheated gambling the entire time?
Probably.
Was that Alex?
Yeah.
No, that was you, Joe.
That was, I think that was you because
Which time?
I was a bard, I think, and I had an enchanter fighter, and
that was
Yeah, you
off
guys.
yeah.
You guys
Yeah, we
rigged
kept
bar fights
rigging-
a lot.
yeah, all the
Kept
time,
rigging bar fights and
including against a
Crap.
blind person.
You know,
Yeah.
all I can say is they should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
It was a whole village of blind people. We rigged it super hard.
Oh,
I
yeah.
tried to
I remember
honorably
that.
steal his soul with
Yeah.
a magic dagger,
It was,
and it didn't work on the first strike.
It was a village of blind people that were blind because from birth they all stare at the sun. That was like their religion. Yeah. Remember that now?
You're welcome, Joe.
That happened several times that campaign.
What, rigging
Oh, yeah.
fights?
Rigged bar fights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and rigged drinking matches. I think someone had some ability that like helped with intoxication or something.
I
And we
wouldn't
just
doubt it.
cheated during. Yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing that we wouldn't cheat at.
We're
Yeah.
terrible.
This
people.
character
Fine.
dies, I'm bringing back Volo.
Oh, shit. I'm bringing back
Great.
Morthos.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So are you looking to do another game? Also, another thing about this is like this is one of the bigger cities that does festivals. There's not very many cities that do festivals at all, so there's lots of people from all over the place. And if you're like the adventuring types too, you know that there's lots of message boards that are being put up. There are people that are going around looking for help and stuff constantly in these places too, that trying to hire people to do something or just have like an odd job. There's a lot of that here. So kind of depends, like if you guys are more, wanting to go for work or just wanting to do the festivities.
So what brings you all around?
Always heard festivals were a great place to make money, friends, and enemies. Just a great place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it's a good way to maybe find a way to earn some money.
All right, I'd like to introduce you all to my friend Puffin Daddy. So I take him out of my jacket very briefly. I don't want anyone else to see him.
You flash
You're
and
probably
God.
not the first.
put them away.
Maybe we should get some fish sticks for your friend.
I was thinking of after we get that drink you invited us to, let's do a crab race and steal some crabs.
You
That
do
works.
see there are like barrels of fresh water that you assume lots of crabs are in.
Love
Nice.
All right.
Paladin's
Okay.
gotta have people to heal, especially when the other ones all died.
Okay, so you guys are wanting to do the drinking next?
Wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you see it's so where like the drinking games are, it looks like there's two tables that are set up kind of on the edge of where there's like a general kind of food area, where there's lots of other tables that people are just eating, drinking, normally recreationally. But there is like this little competition to get at on two of them. You see there's a few people kind of like sitting there at the ready. Looks like a round hasn't started yet, but people are gathering to partake in the next round. And it looks like there is a different like keg specifically for the drinking competition than the rest of the people.
Okay.
Special beer?
I like special beer.
I like special beer.
I like
beer
how they
sounds
have
good.
this
Alright.
like split up too. Like over there's like the the casual drinking, and over here's the professional drinking.
Yes.
I wonder if there's an entry fee for the professional drink.
Let's go ask.
That's a good idea, yes.
So you go up and you see there's kind of like a bigger burly guy there, kind of by that keg. He's like sitting, leaning against it with his arm like on the table that's supporting it. It looks like he's trying to make sure people don't steal anything from it because it is just like an open tap. And as you guys walk over, he's like, you here for the drinking game?
Sure are.
Yeah, we are now.
Right. 1 gold to ante in, and whoever's last in the round wins the pot.
How much is a drink around here without entering the contest? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
Mechanically, in game, it'll be 1 fortune point of damage to enter the competition. And just normal drinking and food is free. It's like kind of hand waved.
Nice. Then 1 fortune point we go down.
Yeah.
I'm for that, yes.
All right.
Yeah. And then most of the time, like a petty amount of gold is usually just kind of hand waved, unless you're suffering from a fallout or condition that says like you are out of money. Then you will like take constant damage whenever you have to buy something with fortune. But most of the time, it's just assumes that you have like a normal amount. And then if you have fortune protection, a way to interpret that is either you're like really good at making deals, or you just have more cash than most other people do, and like that 1 point is nothing to you. Like you don't take that damage because you have the point of protection.
So what
So,
you're saying is I need to steal more to inflate my fortune protection.
Good.
I like it.
Yeah. But all right. So everyone antes in.
Yeah.
And are you all trying to be in on the same like round competing against each other, or like it looks like there's kind of 2 tables that are set up.
I'd
Like,
say we go against each other. I mean, no better way to make friends than to get
Sure.
plastered in public. Day drinking
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
win.
We can start
there's-
off making our bad decisions at approximately the same rate.
I
Oh,
like
yeah.
it.
And this will be looks like it's 6 to a table. So if it was the 4 of you, then there'd be 2 others joining you.
2 randoms.
So,
Yeah.
Or do we want to do a 2 and 2 so we can have 2 winners?
All right. Cards on the table here. Who's the best at drinking?
How do
Mechanically,
we know?
you guys are going to be taking physical damage. So there's a thing for events like this is non-lethal damage, which is you still take the damage, but all of the fallout that you will get from it is not lethal. It's like getting intoxicated or taken in condition or something like that.
So
I've been
I'm
I
known
might
to
be all
imbibe
right
a
then.
good brandy every now and then.
I'm not the strongest drinker, but I will partake with you as all.
if I had to rate myself on a scale, I would say I'm a 7 at drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I might be
so
the
way
best in a sense.
All right.
I
Lonan,
think
you and
do
I
have
go to this
the
table.
highest.
Al Sherman and Akar, you go to that table.
Great. So you each split up, and then 4 others. There's a bit of like a line, so they're definitely filled up. And each table begins drinking. So every round, you're going to be doing a physical saving throw. If you pass it, you don't take any damage for the round. If you fail it, you take some damage. And if you crit fail, which normally you could only crit fail if you take multiple successes to pass something, but it is also a crit fail if you roll all ones.
Yay.
Okay.
So still possible, but not as
Oh,
likely.
jeez.
So
So we
since
just roll our physical.
this
So a physical saving throw is you roll the number of dice as the highest attribute in your physical thing.
so if I got a 3 and a 4, I'm rolling a 4.
Yes. Yep. So first round, everyone roll their highest physical stat. That many dice.
Hooray! I have 0 successes, so I guess I
I
will
have
push
a
my
success.
roll.
And pushing doesn't necessarily help because
It didn't.
if you fail, you're going to take 1 anyways. And if you so pushing opens you up to technically taking more damage, but you could push if you
It
want
did, in fact.
Nice.
I'm danning it up.
I took
All
more
right.
damage, but I got a success.
I just failed.
to. Okay.
I just got a success.
Nice.
And then tracking damage in this game is technically, it could be however you want. The way I normally do it is I start at 0 and I tick up until you hit your max and then you run out. But you could also say that you start your max and when you hit 0, that's when you go fall out. It's whichever way you want to do it. But yeah, it looks like Jake, was that a push that?
That was a push that did that.
Okay. Did anyone pass on the first roll?
Lonan did, right?
Yes. Oh, I did get 2
Okay.
X's, so sorry. I thought I did.
Did you push?
Nope.
Or okay, so hexes only hurt you if you push.
Gotcha. So yeah.
Yeah. So if that's your first roll, then that's fine. It's just kind of like a war. Like if you see that you got a bunch of hexes, then you're like, I don't want to push that because that'll be
Yeah.
a bunch of damage I'm going to take. So, alrighty. So, and how are you guys split up? I should write this down.
Two of
Myself
us.
and Dan on one table, John and Chuck on the other.
Yep.
Okay. You guys are split. How my overlay is on Zoom.
That's how we
Handy.
planned it.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
So, yeah. And so to track the damage, would I apply that to physical then specifically?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And so pretty much the way like non-lethal works, this is one of those rules that I have in my like GM notes thing, but I forgot to put it in the player. So non-lethal is pretty much tracked differently, where like at the end of this encounter, it's going to all clear. Whatever.
Yeah. And I assume my armor won't protect me from drinking myself under.
It does technically.
That's where I was like, technically I have a physical protection.
I do
'cause I have
too.
armor.
So armor doesn't protect you against pushing, though.
yeah,
Good
that's
thing
true.
I didn't push.
Right. But would it protect me from the hex I took when I pushed?
No. So hex damage you always take, like whatever
Always
it
take.
is. Yeah.
Okay. So that only protects me from damage being like applied to me
Yeah.
from someone else.
I think for the sake of this game, armor is waived. I wasn't thinking about armor.
I mean, I could
So,
also see it being stressed too, though. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I figure
Yeah.
it's worth it to ask the questions.
Right. Yeah, normally pushing a roll will always do however many ones. It bypasses armor or whatever protection you have.
Dang it. My armor does not, in fact, protect me from drinking.
Or even with something like alcohol, you could honestly choose. Like you pick one when you start drinking, and that's just what you stick with. Because you can lose your charm as you keep drinking too.
Can.
Okay, so it looks like John and Jake are doing a bit better.
Dan and Jake.
The other people
I'm with Dan.
are. Oh, okay. Whoops.
How dare you?
That's better though. So both you guys are doing equal then. I think. Yeah.
We're ruling.
Dan. Okay. Cool. Now you guys are divided the other way, and I guess that yeah. Whatever. Next
Whatever.
round.
You know, you
Roll your
can just
physical
drag
saving
the
tests.
Zoom boxes around to rearrange them.
Yeah.
All right. I got a success this time on my first roll.
Okay.
Yep, I didn't mean to push. Well, I'll
Nope.
take it.
Ooh.
I would say it's not fair because you all got bigger bodies to absorb it, but the gnome's out drinking me.
All right. How many from Chuck's table? How many successes do we have?
I didn't get any.
I got a success, but I also got a hex. So
Okay. So take that damage from it. I'm still tracking the successes though. Then Dan got one. Jake, did you get one?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Jake and Dan, you guys, no one's like really in the lead amongst you guys, like you players, but Jake and Dan's table, it looks like more people are not holding their liquor as well, like around you.
We got lucky.
Hey,
Okay, next round. Skull saving throws.
All right.
Oh, I actually passed this one.
Ooh.
ooh, I'll take my 2 successes.
Right? That's awesome.
Nice.
Cool. Okay. So it looks like John got 2
Got one.
and Chuck got 1. Jake or Dan, did either of you?
I got one on my first.
Okay.
I got nothing. Pushed. Got a hex.
All right. And now it looks like you guys are slightly in the lead.
Nice.
Then this seems to be kind of like the last round. It looks like most people are getting down to like the bottom of their drink. So last call, last round.
Oh, no. I don't think I want to push that.
Ooh.
Or maybe I do. What's it matter if I push it, right?
Can I push if I get a success?
Yeah, you can. As long as you have dice that you can re-roll, you can push.
Okay.
There we go.
Take my 1 success. And
God.
no hex is a push.
Yep.
He's
Okay. I guess those last 4 are what people are at then. So Jake got 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then John and Chuck have 1 between the 2 of you. Great. Okay. You both tables hit the required amount of successes. So, but nobody's gone down out of the those who are playing the game. So everyone else but you guys are out.
Nice.
yeah.
Hooray!
Suck it, everybody else.
And with that, there's just the last 4, and the guy running is like, oh, looks like we've got some people that can hold their liquor a little bit better. Well, that's what this second round's for. And he goes over to the other side, picks up and fills up all your cups from a different keg.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. I'm going down this time.
This is just nothing but a keg of Jaeger bombs. I know it.
I thought you were a holy man. Have faith.
Yeah.
Gotta cast a bend on myself 1 second here, guys.
You gotta have faith.
So this will be
Grandmother
physical saving throws, and failing is 2 physical damage.
Ooh.
I missed the first part. What was that?
Physical saving throws again, and then if you
grief.
fail, it is 2 damage.
All right. I had to push to get there.
Okay.
Pull of success.
But I'm about out, though. Taking 4 hex or 4 damage in 1 round was not good.
So basically, I was tracking like the successes total that you guys were getting to compete against the other people at the table. Now it's just you guys.
Just who drops.
It's whoever drops because you guys are against each other. So
How are you doing?
is everybody still?
Sherman?
Everybody's still up.
Still up. Yeah.
Yep.
Barely.
Okay. Another round. And yeah, so if you take the hex from pushing and you get a success, that does help you because you'll take 1 less because the success will keep you from taking the 2, but you'll still get the 1 from the push.
Dang it, Jake.
Hey.
All right, where's everyone at? Anyone out? Anyone?
5
Still up.
out of 7.
Yeah, 1
Still up.
success, but 1 hex. Yeah, and I pushed. So
Okay, that's only 1 point
no
though.
hexes.
okay, then I
It's,
got
it's 2 damage.
It's
2
still
damage
up.
total, though, right? For 1 for pushing and 1 for the hex.
So you only get damage from pushing if you get a 1.
Ah, okay. Then
Okay.
you don't take 1 for pushing.
No, yeah.
Okay.
You could push, and if you don't get any 1s, then you took no damage.
Okay. I'm actually better than I thought. I've
Okay.
been
Yeah, sorry.
tallying damage for pushing.
Yeah, sorry, I should have specified that. But alrighty, it's just another round.
Let's do this.
You guys are against each other.
We're gonna drink this place under.
well. Going
Another
down.
success.
I'm going for it. Oh, damn.
I got
Uh-oh.
2 successes and no hexes.
Nice. Okay. Has anyone hit it yet?
Nope.
Almost. If I hit it one more time, that's it.
So close.
All right, another round.
Another round. Uh-oh. Oof. Ah.
Oh,
Dang.
that's,
You know,
that's
I'm
some
gonna
damage.
stand. I'm gonna stand and take my 1 success.
Yeah.
Not push.
I'm down to 1. I cannot believe
Yeah,
it.
same.
I'm still at 5.
Oh God.
There's a
Wow.
lot of stars
Okay.
floating around.
Did you get... Did you take your damage, Jake?
No, I didn't push that. That would have got
But
me.
failure.
Oof.
Failure does too. Yeah, if you're failing these and if you don't get a success, you take 2 damage.
Well then, okay.
I think you're out either way, maybe. Unless...
Yeah.
I think Vertigar was pacing himself this whole time.
Ah.
Wait, is this the last
Okay.
round?
So, Jake, you get intoxicated as a fallout.
Oh no.
And basically, this is it's a lingering fallout. It's until your next long rest or you do something to sober up. You do not benefit from skills. You still benefit from contexts and your attributes, but skill ranks do not help.
Oof.
That's pretty much all it does.
Okay. That's
But it's not too
bad.
hard to sober up, and there's like free food over behind you. So
Yeah.
if you go out of your way, then you can. So yeah, Dan, you win your table and get that ante. You get a D4 gold pouch,
Huzzah!
and then Chuck and John, are you both still up?
I'm
Yep.
up.
Okay.
Time to go
Another
take
round.
Al
Roll
Sherman
again?
and get some food.
Cram some bread
Yeah.
down his throat.
Let's keep it going.
I got 1. I'm good.
I'm
God.
good.
Oh.
Next drink.
All right.
All right.
That was the last of that
Oh, man.
drink, though.
no.
So with that one, he says like, "Wow, I can't believe you two are still in this." And he like looks a little bit nervous for a bit, and then refills from the second keg. But you see him add a little bit from a flask he pulls out from under his coat.
Oh, he's spicing it up.
Yeah, it is 3 physical damage now if you fail these.
All right. Well, I just
Guys,
rolled
we're getting
mine,
the good stuff.
and it was
Yeah.
a fail, so I'm gonna push this one.
I got success.
Uh-oh.
Standing.
Fuck, I take
Oh
3.
no.
Yeah.
I'm at 2.
All right, and you passed, John.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
All right.
Another round of physical saving throws.
Oh,
Oh no.
Push.
I gotta push.
And so it's going to be
So-
whoever goes down by more is the one that loses.
I've got 1 left.
I have 1 point left as well.
Last
Oh
drink.
my god.
Just both. Or you have
All
one?
right, yeah.
Do you have 1 HP
One
left?
more round.
I've got 1 HP
Oh
left.
no! Oh, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
He took another drink anyways and he passed.
Look at that.
All right. With that, you also gain the intoxicated fallout. So basically, you're just suffering from the intoxicated condition. Cannot benefit from skills until you sober up. And Chuck, same thing. You get the D4 gold resource.
Nice.
Having 8 physical health harried me.
Hey,
Yeah.
for having 5, I did great.
Where do
You
I
did.
record that in one of my slots or just in general items?
You put that in on the sheet. You should be able to do
That
that
sheet
under
at the bottom.
resources. So for equipment, there is items and then general items. So you could do it kind of in either. If you just do like a D4 gold,
All right.
typically this would be like one of the normal items. You'd say gold coins. You do 1D4, and it's a urban or common resource.
All right.
I'm not as think as you drunk I am. Let's go get crabs.
Actually, I think gold coins are don't have a context because they're accepted universally.
All right.
Should we all go inebriated and steal crabs?
Why don't we go
Yeah.
get some pancakes
Oh, all right.
And then crabs.
and then crabs?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Those things eat pancakes, do you suppose?
And any physical stress
Now,
that you
there's
took
only
from
one way
that
to find out.
is now healed. So
Yay.
your physical stress resets because it is a non-lethal encounter you were in.
Right.
And then, and also the way that works, if you had stress going into it, you would be back at whatever that stress was. So like, say you started that and you had 8 total health and you were at 4, then you would have only had 4 to work with for that encounter, but that 4 would have been healed back when you got out of it. And you'd be right at where you came into it. Yeah. Is anyone that is intoxicated sobering up, or are you just
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on? Okay.
We're getting
so good.
pancakes for us, for Puffin Daddy.
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
and
Well, see if
for-
they got
and
some
bacon.
like
crabs.
bacon or sausage or something. He's a carnivore.
I mean,
Yeah,
we can
they've-
see if he eats
They've got all
pancakes
sorts
too.
of stuff. It's they've got kind of like the just like the barbecued like pulled pork type meats and things over on one side. You don't really see any like eggs anywhere.
What's the starchiest thing they
Lots of
have?
breads.
Well, if they've got
Like
pancakes, then they'll
carbohydrates.
have eggs.
But they don't have pancakes.
They don't have
What?
pancakes.
I
They have
thought they
bread.
would have pancakes, but obviously
Bread-
we're
bread would be
amongst
fine.
barbarians.
Oh. They have some bread. It's probably as good as you'll get.
Or if they got fucking like pulled pork, we got some bread. Fucking
Yep.
pulled pork
Sandwich
sandwiches. Yep, that's what we do. And I feed some pulled pork to Puffin Daddy.
And they scarf it down.
The real
Puff
question
and
is,
Daddy dies
are
at
we
age
going to
5.
start giving Puff Daddy human meat and things like that as well?
I just did. Are you talking
I
about the
mean,
real
like-
Puff Daddy? Like, are we gonna email Sean Puffy Combs like a fucking like rib sandwich?
No, no,
You
no.
gonna
I mean,
email
like,
it to him?
Yeah.
I meant
Who?
like, are we going to feed Puff and Daddy human meat?
Oh,
Like the
long
donkey.
pig.
Long pig.
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
You're never
We can
opposed
see-
to it. If I get trapped in the wilderness with Chuck, I'm running away because he's gonna eat me first chance he gets. Because he's like, I've been thinking about eating people.
That
No.
that was a real threat the one time we went camping.
It was. If you go far enough back on our Twitter story, I did a whole series of photos of me secretly plotting to kill and eat Dan.
Awesome.
It really
Okay.
happened. Except I didn't die.
He didn't.
I'll say, so as you guys are eating, you're taking a bit, right? Recovering from all the alcohol, letting that non-lethal damage kind of soak off, getting some water in you a little bit. There's some interesting people, I guess, that you notice, as your eyes kind of wander around the crowd. One person that you see, people that are from around the area would recognize them. Their name is Ballastar. They are what is known as an Echo Warden. They are a group of people that are kind of like mercenaries sometimes. They try to just kind of be like good Samaritan types and roam around. They are pretty much usually like they've got like some sort of horrible backstory or sad thing that's happened to them that they've just like recklessly dedicated their lives to killing Echo stuff and just dealing with all the blight. So they have a little bit of a bad reputation of people that just like they don't really people like them because they do a good job, but like people don't really like being around them because they always trauma dump on them and stuff. They're like, I lost my family and both my kids and my goat. And like
You take that sob story and tell it to the donkey outside.
all that kind of stuff. But they're also usually pretty well outfitted. Like the longer you look at him, it looks like he's wearing big armor, but then you realize it's actually form-fitting. He's just massive, and it's like, yeah, he's got pretty big pauldrons and things, but is huge. He looks like he might be a half giant, half human, half giant. And you just see him just kind of like sitting over at like the far end of the food court, eating by himself. Another person that you see that is a pretty odd sight is you see like a cowboy hat sticking above the crowd for a little bit. And as there's like a clearing in the crowd, you see that it's actually a centaur that's wearing a cowboy hat. He's got like a vest and kind of like a striped shirt underneath it. It's got like an arrow or a bow and some quivers like on his back. He's just
Human back or
slowly,
his
like,
horseback?
trotting.
Yeah, which back?
He's got the quivers on his horseback and the bow on his human back.
Okay.
Okay.
And
That's
those are
a
just
cowboy.
two people you notice. Yeah.
Nice.
I
Like,
mean,
are
like
we
those
on-
guys look really cool, but we've got this food, and then we got to go get crabs.
You
Yeah,
have to get crabs.
we do
Although
have to get crabs.
I mean, part of the reason there was so you could feed Puffin Daddy, but didn't you just feed him?
Yeah, but I want to make sure he's got a balanced diet.
Yeah. Plus, we need road food, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go crab
So
race.
you guys are off to the crab races. All right. So you walk over. It's a little bit more dead here than it was at first. It seems like not as many people are around this event as you would expect. At the beginning of the day, it seemed like it was pretty swarmed, but just not very many new people are coming over. And there's like two people that are there currently. You see an old man, and he's like sitting there, and he's just kind of like shaking his hands like, go, go, come on, go. And there's like a crab just sitting, not moving in the middle of the track. And there's another like little kid that looks like they're about 8 years old. And they're like half paying attention to it at all. And they're kind of just zoning off, and their crab's like inching its entire way down the track. You see the man organizing the event. So you guys stand up. He's like, oh, you were interested in some crab racing?
Yeah, that's
great
definitely
sport.
what we're here for.
That's why we're here. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it took me weeks to get all these crabs, so I really hope more people play this crab game.
I am down.
Yeah, are the tastier ones also the faster ones?
Tasty? Well, I mean, crab is pretty good, but I don't think their taste affects how fast they are.
So I mean, like, you wouldn't say that there's some way to correlate that this one's going to be better for us to like eat when we're done with this race. Is that how this works?
Well, I would hope you would leave them, and I would take it back, and they usually go back in the bucket.
Where do they go after
Okay.
the crab races are over?
I try to release them to the wild and sell them to people if they want them. A lot of times I'll sell it over to the food court here at the end of the day.
Okay, so that's where we can get crabs later.
If you only want to eat them and you don't want to race them, yes, I suppose you could wait till the end of the day. But
Well, I mean,
you could race them now. You can't race them later.
Yeah, we're gonna race them now. There's no doubt about it.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Fantastic. They get more excited if there's more of them racing. I swear. Like I know it doesn't look like much right now, and it looks over and the old man's crab. He's like still like, come on. It still has not moved at all from the middle. The little kid's is like just barely getting to the edge, and he wanders off.
Let's
And,
put some more crabs in there.
Yep. Let's do it.
Load
Crab
up all the
Royale.
crabs.
Alrighty. So with that, the little kid kind of wanders away, and the guy organizing the event kind of like tries to stop him and just like, and the little kid's crab goes over the finish line, and then the crab organizer just grabs a cane and just slides the old man's crab all the way to the end, and it's like, here you go, man. He gives him like a little coin pouch. And the old man's like, yes, and skitters off. Looks like there are 6 lanes. You don't see anyone else here.
The old man skitters off as you're like,
Yeah,
The old man's walking sideways.
yeah, a little bit. He's a little bit hunched, but yeah. Looks like there are 6 lanes, but there's only 4 of you here, and there's the big like barrel. It's kind of like it's not really in the light, so it's deep enough that it's kind of hard to see the bottom of it. He's like, well, the first step is finding the right crab, the one that you think's gonna, win the race or whatever. That's the selection's, a big part of how well you do in this. So, have any of you selected a crab before for racing?
Nope.
Only for eating.
oh, never before.
Where do we get
Well-
to stand as we cheer on our crabs?
Oh, you stand at the edge here, and it's there's like a little kind of like roped box at the edge. So like the track is basically just a bunch of wood boards that are just wide enough for a crab to be in the dirt, and it's like down a slope slightly too.
Is the box at the beginning or the end? Or yeah,
Which box?
the box where the people sit, or the roped off area.
Oh, it's at the end.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. They are racing towards you.
Okay, I have a throwing axe. So when I select my crab, what I want to do is I want to take the haft of the axe and start poking at crabs and find the most aggressive one.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and whatever selection process you guys want to go through this, you can just randomly reach in and get one. Like however you're going about picking your crab will determine what you're rolling. And there you go about it. So you're looking specifically for the most aggressive one that you can harass with your with
Yeah,
your hilt of
absolutely.
like your throwing axe. Okay. Whatever feels right for you making that test, I guess. Pull up your sheet because it could be, if you're trying to pay attention to them, it could be like an insight.
Could I use discern?
Yeah, discern.
Right.
That's another
I
one.
have
Well, I mean,
have
I
a
can't use any of
discern.
my skills right now, so
True. Yeah. So you
Oh, that's right.
you're basically choosing whatever attribute you want to roll as. If you can argue that one of the skills that it would have been works.
I think wisdom sounds about right.
Yeah, wisdom
Okay.
from eating crabs.
Are we? Did we? Were we
Yeah.
able to lose our intoxicated condition or not yet?
Yes. If since you guys sat and ate the food, you can clear your intoxicated.
Okay.
Definitely rolling the wisdom, and I'm choosing by taste.
Okay. Are you doing like a lore test then?
I don't
See if
have
you have, like-
any skills that will help me in this, so I'll just be rolling wisdom.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Well,
Suppose I could go with observe then.
I got a perfect skill for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll find to find the best
That works too.
fucking crab.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. The way I imagine find working is like you're just trying a whole bunch of them until like one's the one that you like.
I got one success. I'm good.
Do we still get to
Good
apply our
grief.
urban or common context?
Yeah. So this would be urban or common.
Good.
I don't think any other. Pretty much everything at this event's urban and common.
I forgot my urban or common. Oh well. I'll still take my success. I'm good.
I got
Okay.
1 success and 2 damage, which I would assume goes to mental.
Yeah, it's based off of whichever attribute you pushed on. If it's just like a skill test like that. So yeah, that'll be 2 mental stress.
Double success.
And then let me know however many successes each of you got.
Dose.
Just the one.
I got one.
Yeah.
I got
Go ahead, Dan.
I got 2 hexes.
Okay.
He comes out and he's just got crabs last shot. It's like, ah!
Yeah. Yeah.
Find help
What did you use to try to get it, Dan?
Just wisdom. I mean, let's
Oh, use
say
your wisdom.
let's say lore, since I was going by tasting history.
Yeah, it stresses you out. It kind of frustrates you as you're like trying to deal with these crabs, and so it's
None of
too
these
much
crabs
stress.
look delectable.
So when
I don't know anything about crabs.
So when Lanan picked his, he looked in the barrel, and if you're watching him, you saw the spider eyes actually look around, and like the tattoo kind of twitched on his hand, and he just went and grabbed one out of the barrel.
Okay. I like it. Okay, so John got 1, Chuck got 2, Jake got 1, Dan got 0. So the hexes luckily don't make your roll worse, they just hurt you. And the way this is going to work is you are making it's going to be athletics tests on behalf of your crab.
Nice.
And the number of successes you got is the number of dice you get to add to the base of 6.
Okay.
So I can roll 8.
I get to roll 6.
And we roll 3, and whoever has the highest at the end is the winner.
All right.
You could also, if you guys want to, you could try to rope in like another random person to do this. Like you could always do that in these types of games to up the ante of the winner.
Actually, I'm wondering
Whatever you guys
if
wanna
I
do.
could roll something else. Having now antagonized my crab, I want to lie down at the end of the track to where my crab can see me. And I want to taunt.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I'd let that be, you could do like a compel with that, or whichever one you feel like sticks out to you as making the most sense for that.
Unfortunately, that's the same as my agility. So, still, it's more fun this way.
But so the difference though, crabs are not very good at racing, so they have to get 2 successes to make progress.
Oof.
Fair.
Your test, though, of them, if you're doing anything else to influence them, it's usually going to be one success. So
Right. Now, are we able to push this roll, or is it just going to be a straight roll?
you are able to push it. Yeah.
Okay.
Rolling it.
Rolling it.
Oh God.
3 fucking successes.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
This crab's fucking moving. Oh,
I got 2.
Okay.
God.
Where's everyone at?
Oh no. I got greedy.
No successes, no hexes.
No successes,
got-
no hexes.
I got 2 successes and 1 hex.
3.
Okay. Keep track of how many hexes you get. This is not going to you. It is going to the crab, unless you are doing the test yourself.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
so Chuck, you got 3.
Yep.
Dan, you got
I got 3 successes and
That's
2
3 as well.
hexes. Because I was like,
Jake.
gonna eat you, crab.
Yeah.
Trying to motivate it to move. It,
Then John, you said you got 2 with 1. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Alrighty. Chuck's and Dan's are tied for the lead. Even the guy organizing the events like kind of surprised, like, oh wow, there's actually a bit of a kick in both of these, and they're just skittering, like still got momentum to them. They're running off, and John, even yours is also moving, not quite as fast as those two.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of got one of its claws wedged a little bit, so it's not moving at quite full speed, but
Yeah.
it's moving along. And then Jake, you lay down and you're trying to scare it, and it moves like towards you a little bit, but then it kind of moves away. It can't really. It's not sure if it wants to fight you. So it's being like indecisive at the start of the track.
do I pinch? Not to pinch.
To pinch or not to pinch?
Now I want to play that crab fight game. It's out.
Yeah.
Have you see that
Crab battle? No.
crab battle? Yeah.
Round
I
2.
don't. I just.
All right.
I was thinking of something else.
Round
so.
2 of 3.
2 successes. There we fucking go.
Oh,
3 successes.
Got the fastest crab.
Oh,
I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
this crab and not feed it to
Oh
Puffin
God.
Daddy.
My crab just lost it.
It lost the
Crab
game.
I got
My
no
crab just took a
successes and
mental
4
stress.
hexes.
You got 4 hexes?
Yeah.
Oh no. They have 4 health.
Oh no! Crab out of water. Crab out of water.
So we'll get to that. What happens? Dan, how
that's
many,
it. That's
you got
it.
2?
I got 4 actually because I pushed for more.
Oh, you got 4. Okay. Did you? I think no. So you got 2. It's just the weird math of how
Okay.
the numbers at the top are, and if you show more on it, like those are the right.
Oh, yeah. Sure enough.
Yeah. Sorry.
Dang it! I got excited.
My bad. Yeah, I need to fix that macro from acting so weird. But
That's all right.
the numbers and outputs are right, and for some reason the dice numbers, if you expand it, are
Goofy,
right.
yeah.
But all of the other numbers and the number of dice it rolls are wrong.
Dang.
Jake, you had another fail.
Yeah, with a hex.
Oh man. Okay. And then Sean, you have 4 hexes. So
You have reached
Taunting
crab
crabs
end.
doesn't work. I know what my problem is. Crabs walk sideways, and I'm trying to face it head on.
I was thinking that when you said your plan, but like hell, I was gonna tell the competition their plan was dumb.
Damn it! That was my problem the whole time.
So check, yours is still like moving fast, and guy running, it's like, I've never seen a crab move this fast in my life. You got a good one. And then he looks at you as well, Dan. He's like, yours is pretty quick too, but not quite as fast as his. And then Jake, you're like laying on the ground where everyone else is staying. He's like, I'm not really sure what your strategy is, but you should do something else.
Agreed.
And then John, yours makes it a little bit farther down the track, and then a puffin comes and swoops, snatches it right out, and the guy running the event like picks up his cane. He's like, "Ah, god damn it!" and swings his cane at it, but it's no more.
That's all right.
You are out of the race.
Nature
It's
finds
fair.
a way.
Sure finds a way. God damn.
Yep. Alrighty. The last round. Okay, and I guess it's just Jake, Chuck, and Dan.
All right, we're going.
Oh,
no.
Anyway,
How much damage is yours taking, Dan?
5 now.
Pulled 2 successes, no hexes.
Oh,
One
no.
success. The
you gotta
first
keep that
I-
crab,
Okay.
Chuck.
Wait, you got 2 successes though as well, Dan, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Chuck, and then you got 2.
Yep.
And none. Okay. So with that, Chuck, yours goes across the finish line. It slows down a little bit there at the end, but it clearly makes it through first. And then Dan, actually, we'll go to Jake. Yours, they move like a little bit, and they unwedge themselves, and they start down the track, but they're not making it very far. And Dan, you rolled well enough for it to make it to the end, but similar to John's, as soon as it makes it out of its little track, Puffin swoops down and snatches your crab as well. It finished the race. It made it there, but it doesn't get the
My
reward.
dinner.
So Puffin catches it. And then the guy who's running back here, and he's swinging his cane at this Puffin now too.
That's our chance. Go.
Yeah, he is occupied with the Puffins that are swooping
Well,
down.
first off, this winter crab, it's one stay of execution. So I am going to keep it, and I'm
Okay.
going to name it Brian Crabston. And my goal is to set it free in an appropriate place. But yeah, then I also take a fucking bucket and just steal a shitload of crabs.
Okay. You do so. It's pretty easy to do because he's like not really paying that much attention with the puffins swarming down. There's a few more puffins that are like swooping in, looks like.
See, Puffin Daddy,
And
this is why you're an MVP. None of that flying and swooping shit.
You're going to be like one of those logic puzzles that they ask on IQ tests where like you've got a fox and a sheep and you need to go across the water. But now you're like, you've got a puffin and a crab and you got, you're like in your jacket. How do you keep them from eating?
That's true. That's true.
Just put the crab in your
You'll
hair.
have to watch out
Yeah,
for
put
that.
the crab in my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm
All
going
right.
to feed my crab to the puffin.
You feed your crab to
To,
Failed me.
Puffin Daddy.
to Chuck's puffin.
Yeah.
You do so. You pick him up. He snaps at you, but kind of
You had your
lopsided.
chance.
You failed me
You
for the
fucking
only
earned
time.
this.
There's a loud crunch as Chuck's puffin breaks through its shell and starts eating it.
Good job, Puffin Daddy.
All right.
We're
When that
all
comes
winners
back.
today.
I think so.
So I'll Chuck, as the winner, you get the choice of a D4 of a bucket of crabs, or you could choose to stay and try to get your prize, but you'll have to make a test to hide the bucket of crabs.
I'm keeping the
And you
bucket of
risk losing
crabs.
both. Okay. So you run off. He doesn't catch you with the crabs. You've got a bucket of them. He comes back and he kind of looks around, doesn't see you guys, and gets confused and goes back to warding off the puffins. Now they're starting to like land on the edges of the buckets, and yeah,
They figured
they're
it
just
out.
harassing his stall. There's not enough people over there too to scare off the puffins anymore.
We did a good.
All right, you did a good.
We did.
By that I mean we did bad.
3 of your puffin or 3 of your crabs out of 4 were eaten.
It's the way it's
and
meant to
not
be.
by us. Yeah.
But yeah, Chuck, have that D4 bucket of crabs. I'm going to say
Told you
that
the
is
tasty ones.
it's probably a common resource.
Cool.
Cool. All right.
What other? There's axe throwing and log splitting.
Those are the other two. And kind of over the direction that you ran, you see there's an old man that's got a cart full of a bunch of split logs, and you guess that's the log splitting. It looks like he drove a cart that was full of the unsplit logs, and he's just been filling it with split logs.
Tell you guys.
And it's a sign that says log splitting. It's just an old man like happily sitting there. You don't see anyone
Probably
like
happy
currently cutting them.
Yeah.
Very happy that all this work is getting done for him.
Yeah, right? Like,
You
dude's got a
definitely
good,
get that vibe.
good job. Like, good gig. Not shading, but that is just physical fucking labor, and I am not about it.
Yeah.
Just get me more clever
I
about
will
it.
applaud the old man for his cunning.
And he like nods at you and points.
Yeah. You'll be set
Like,
all
it's great.
fucking
People
winter.
are paying me to chop my wood.
You are a fucking genius.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with the game.
And
So,
that's pretty much the entirety of it. If you wanted to pay, you could chop wood for him.
I'm gonna pay, and I want to try to chop wood one time,
Okay. You
but
can
I'm gonna
so.
do it my way.
All right. And it's not a lot to enter.
Yeah.
It's like again like a petty amount.
Yeah.
So. it's just
So is there?
handy.
Do they have like a splitting like wedge, or do they have like a big axe, or what do they have for?
It is a splitting wedge, and then there is an axe. And it's definitely one that's got like kind of like the bigger maul kind of end of it. It's like an axe that is only used for wood cutting.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna put that out there with the wedge facing up. I'm just gonna lay it on the ground, and then I'm gonna use my web sling to like whip a log up in the air and try to drop it onto the wedge.
Okay. You're like,
Yeah.
All right.
In the festival full of people, I'm just throwing logs into the air. So
yeah,
It's very safe. Very safe.
very safe.
fucking style points are up there, man.
yeah.
So instead of
Roll for
splitting
it.
them, you're just doing that Scottish log toss.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's terrifying.
does my focus count into this as well? With the or is that just or that just allows me to cast in the first place?
It allows you to
Without
cast. So
penalty.
basically,
Okay.
the point of the focus is one part of being able to cast. If you don't have a focus, it's -2 dice from your pool.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then if you are trying to cast without a verbal component, is another dice. And if you're trying to cast without a like somatic component, is another dice. So if you were trying to like silently still cast without a focus, you'd be losing 4 dice from your roll.
Well, it's not pretty, but I got a success.
Okay.
Unless you want more.
So, one success is plenty for
Okay.
what you're doing, and yeah, you put it on. And he sits back, and then you stand back, kind of, and he gets confused for a little bit, and he's like, "The axe is over there. Did you need the axe?" And you flip it around. He looks up at it, and he looks around. He's trying to make sure it's not gonna like hit somebody. It comes down, lands on the wedge, splits it like most of the way, not completely all the way through, but enough that you're able to like pull it apart. And he shrugs and he throws it in the back of his cart. It's like, appreciate it.
No problem. That was fun to do.
He waves you on.
Not much of a game if there's no prize. I'm just saying. As we walk away.
Also, he doesn't have like a stall like all of the other games.
He just showed up.
He's just
and people
on the
thought it
edge.
was a game.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
This
that.
this guy is the best grift here.
Yeah. What a,
That is all
what a
he's doing.
champ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a sign that he made himself that's like sitting there next to his cart. That's just his whole
Guy's
deal.
fucking genius.
That is.
It's like, I love this festival. It's good for all year usually. All right. And then with that, I think the last guys have pretty much done all the games except for Tug of War and Axe Throwing are the other two games. Wandering around too, you hear a loud slam of a door, and you see like kind of down an alley because you guys are on pretty much on the edge. Like the crab racing was kind of already on the edge, and it was strategically positioned as far away from the puff and toss as possible, but it looks like that didn't help him that much. And then past that is this old man with his cart set up, trying to get people to come chop wood for him. And then further out of this kind of like central town square area where this big festival is happening, you see there's kind of like a small building. Looks like maybe it used to be a church or something, but doesn't really look like it's been upkept like a church. And you see there's like this very tall, gaunt man. Did anyone say that they were from the north? I think you did.
I did.
Okay. You recognize like the pelts that he's wearing. It's kind of out of place for where it's not very cold here at all, but he's got this like very, very nice, like silvery, velvety kind of white, maybe like a fox or something, type of overcoat. And his hands aren't in the sleeves. It's just like on his shoulder, kind of like a cape almost. It's very tall, very gaunt. It's got a very angular, pointed face. He's just standing like right on the doorstep of this small church building, right as the door is like slammed straight into his face. And he just kind of sighs and takes a step back off the porch, steps down, and looks at the building, and snaps his fingers once, has a bit of a smirk, and then starts walking back into the town.
Interesting.
You're muted there, Chuck.
How fucking dare you? That was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you go see why?
An inquisitor.
What do inquisitors do?
As
Inquisit.
Fuck.
yeah,
But what about?
you do get that kind of vibe there, John.
Yeah.
That you don't see people from the north usually leave that often.
Mhm.
They're not the traveling type, but they do on rare occasions. And so John would know this. If anyone else, does anyone else say that they're from the north? I don't think they did. Just John's good. So up in the north, in the nation of Haskus, there is a capital city called Kethris, and they kind of have this vendetta against the eastern nation that got wiped out. They think that they were blasphemous. They hate everything to do with them, and they are trying to further eradicate every trace of those people. They think like they don't want whatever happened to them to happen again. They don't exactly know what happened, or at least they say they don't. And they just go anywhere they can find like people that used to live there, that have like old books, anything with their magic, with their history, their lineage. They don't necessarily kill people if they don't fight back, but they're like are all about erasing the history of people that are left over from that. And as he's like walking kind of back towards the house or back towards the town, you see like the shutters being closed from the inside of this building that he was just at.
So do we talk to him or talk to the house?
That's a good question.
Either way.
I mean, whatever you want to do. Like, mischief is abound. I'm about it.
Yes,
Why don't we
let's,
talk to those folks?
Yeah, let's investigate further.
Yeah, we want to talk to the house first.
Literally to the house. Like, we're
Oh,
just gonna
great
walk up and-
house.
Dear house.
Okay.
Oh, your windows look so clean and open and shit.
You should open your shutters more. It's beautiful inside you.
How upon thee this man knocked?
So inside of the house, the door is shut, but you hear like shuffling. It sounds like furniture is being kind of moved around. You hear like kind of hushed voice. It sound like an older woman is yelling at like a child to like stop touching things and to like just listen. very frustratedly and kind of hushed. But not so much that you can't hear it, like on the other side of this door as you're standing in the street here. What do you do?
Vertigar,
I mean,
I think you're. I don't know. You strike me as a charming fellow.
I absolutely am. I will go charm the fuck out of whoever's over there.
We got your back.
Yeah,
Everybody
door's
hide behind
closed.
it.
I'll go give a gentle and polite knock.
All right. Rap on the door a few times. With that, there's like a piece of furniture that you heard that was moving that just comes to like a grinding halt. And all the voices that you hear, like the older woman's voice, just goes, shh, shh, shh. She hushes. And she waits there for a little bit. Hello?
Hey! What up, Shawty?
We're closed for the festival.
Yeah. I'm not so much worried about that. I couldn't help but notice that gnarly looking Inquisitor dude just came out of here, and I just wanted to check and see if you were okay.
Where did you say your character was from?
The Central.
Chuck, in the beginning?
Center.
Okay. With that, you hear some furniture moving from like right on the other side of this door. It sounds like she had something pushed up against it, and it slides over to the side. Door opens just enough that she looks in. It looks like it's still hitting, like she had like a shelf or something, and
Sure.
it's hitting the door, so it can't open all the way. She peeks her head out. She looks at you guys. Is he gone?
Yeah, he left. I'll take a look around. Everyone else does.
Yeah.
Any sign of him?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you can
honestly.
see him like right at the very end of the street, not looking this way, just walking back towards like the town center square.
He's leaving. I can see him. He's walking away from us. Quite a ways out.
Well, and as you look in, it looks like this has been a library. Like it used to be a church at one point, but now it's a library. And there's just like all sorts of bookshelves and things. It's not very big. Like it was like, think like single schoolroom
Yeah.
type sized building, you know, and
So-
but even like on a smaller side.
Yeah. Was he here for you or some of your books?
Probably for the books. I try to collect a lot of things. I have a lot left over from my grandparents on my father's side. And I don't even know how he knew that I had them. But
You could probably
I
smell
was
them,
told
I assume.
it really seems like it. I don't know how he would have known. I don't tell anyone I have them. They're not even out. But he said I'd lose the library if I didn't give them up. And I don't really know what to do, so I just kind of panicked and shut them out. And I was
No, you
planning on
did the
just
right
putting
thing.
them together and giving them to him.
Yeah.
So, did he say he was coming back?
He said that if I didn't give him the books, I wouldn't have this building tomorrow.
Listen,
Like he's
don't
gonna
you worry
burn
about
it down.
that. Don't you worry about that. I
sounds like to me.
hate assholes
Yeah, I
trying
like
to
books.
hassle people. Just living their best life. I'll go see if I can do something to help you out here.
Well, if he is who I think he is, or with who I think he is with, I'd be very careful of that. Usually, it's best to just give them what they want, which is
Yeah,
just
but
some books, I guess.
you didn't give him what he wants.
Right.
History of the people is still important.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm not
And-
saying, yeah, like Loden said, you ain't wrong. Like,
You hear the little kid's voice say, like, while you guys are talking, like, "Mom, who's that?" And the little kid's face, like, pokes his head out. And you guys don't look like him.
we're not him.
We are, in fact, not him.
I
I'm
liked
me.
his coat. It looked like a bear.
He's him. He's also him.
It
You
was
look like
And
a spider.
I do look like a spider.
And he, like, kind of runs away. in the back of the house.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like as he sees something move a little bit, he's and
All right.
runs off.
You will stay there for a second. Team, let's go huddle.
All right.
So,
We're a
like,
team now. I like this.
we're a team now. Assassination?
Yeah. Because that's what good people do.
It's what good people do to protect good people.
Well, what if she's not good people? What if she's just lying to us? What if she's the bad guy?
Did I get any impression that she was lying about this?
So you didn't get the impression that she was lying. But to entertain that, like, what if she's the bad guy the most charitably, it is not settled on why these books are being destroyed. And a lot of people kind of, you hear rumors that the books that these Inquisitors want to destroy can't be destroyed. And instead they just dye them black. They like completely dip them into ink so that they can't be read anymore. They haven't found a way to actually destroy them, which doesn't give off good vibes, you know. So there is kind of some either way. People don't really agree with how far the Inquisitors usually go, but also they don't really say much to stick up for the people that they're targeting, because it's very specifically being targeted, and they don't know what it is that they're like. They don't know what's in these books, so they can't really defend it.
So what I'm hearing is I need to make body armor out of these books.
That is not a bad
What
idea.
I'm hearing is I need to go read the book while holding it.
Let's put a pin in that for just a moment. I'm going to go back up to the door. Listen. So these books he's wanting to destroy. Or he's taking from you, threatening you about.
A few books, a few scrolls, some maps.
We're about helping you. Absolutely we are. Could we look at them? Not taking them, won't leave your sight, not doing anything to them. We will come inside so that it's out of view.
Sure. I don't know how much you'll get from them.
I won't get a damn thing from them. Like, I'm pretty, but I'm not pretty smart. But Spider Boy over there, he may be able to make sense of it. He's smart in that stuff, I think.
Well, I've heard there are some that can, but I don't necessarily know if that's something you would want to do. But I mean, if you're going to help me, I don't see why not. But it's no harm to me. And she scoots the shelf back a little bit, and the door opens enough that you're able to go inside.
I'm gonna hang outside, guys, and keep lookout. If anyone wants to join me, that is acceptable. But if I see anything funky you all need to run, I will start yelling like Brian Crabston has pinched the shit out of my finger.
I might go in to attempt to read also.
Okay.
I will go in case there are rats.
All right.
Check.
Yep.
I'll look to the old lady. I'll like kind of stand over Rudiger and look to the old lady, and I'll be like,
and she's like kind of backing back into the house as you say that. What? And then the door like closes. Chuck, so you said you were
watch,
standing lookout. Yeah.
I'm gonna do like nonchalantly. I'm kind of sneaky and shit. Like,
okay, and that is kind of so. Standing watch is not necessarily just an observe test. If you're trying to stand watch in certain ways, like if you're trying to be nonchalant, it could be a conceal, like whatever way that you are attempting to be a lookout.
I was thinking like that conceal style test. Like, I want to be able to keep an eye on things, but I don't want anyone to realize I'm keeping an eye on things.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Perfect.
You want that roll?
Yeah, do a roll there.
All right.
Oof.
Fuck me sideways. Ouch. You know what? I really don't want to fuck this up. I'm going to push it despite the 2 hexes.
Hey.
Is that, so another rule too, I forget if I I think it's in there, but you can burn attributes to get an automatic success.
Oh, so it's the
and
same difference as pushing, right?
Not necessarily. So it's not a reroll. It is a automatic success. So like
Okay.
if you're rolling like a conceal test with agility and you burn 1 point of agility, you get 1 success.
Okay.
And you can recover 1 point of burned attributes per long rest or per day,
Okay, so it
basically.
comes out of the attributes and does not
Yeah.
come out of the health pools.
Right.
Yes, the health pool stays the same, but your attributes reduced.
That's fine.
Okay. So that makes
And
sense why they have
pushing
health now.
hex damage,
Yes.
our protection doesn't do anything to negate pushing.
Right.
Right. All right, cool. I'm at 5 out of 7 on physical, but that's with a success.
Okay. Specifically because you were trying to kind of be stealthy too.
Yeah.
Changed the amount of required successes for this. If you were just looking around, it would have been 2, but because of where you're looking and kind of what you're looking for, you're trying to like find shadows or like places that you won't be noticed. And something definitely catches your eye as you notice the shadow, like as you're trying to like move into the shadow of the building, it changes in like opacity almost. It changes, or opaqueness. It gets less dark and kind of moves as a blob away from you as you get into the shadow.
I got fucking shadow ninjas and shit watching this place. Do I know anything about shadows moving?
You would assume, just off the top of your head, you get like a magic type of vibe that this is like a spell or an ongoing effect that someone probably placed. You don't know if it was the librarian lady. She didn't really strike you as a caster, though.
That's what fucking inquisitors are. All right. So they definitely got magic.
The gaunt guy that was walking towards you guys, leaving, definitely struck you as a caster type vibe as well.
Where's this shadow going?
It looks like, so the way the light's hitting the house, it's like on the side and the back of the house, and you went to like the side, and as you got to the side, that shadow like went to what it should have been as a normal value, and then went to the back.
I'm gonna follow it around.
It's very slight,
Yeah.
but because of your success, you like noticed it, and you were specifically like looking at shadows to hide.
I'm gonna follow it.
Okay. You follow it around the side, and it is this like weird thing. It almost feels like it's playing with your eyes because it's already dark there, but it's like too dark. It looks darker than it should be now that this much shadow is like concentrated behind the house. And walk around, you're just staring straight at it behind the house. You do anything?
We're behind the house now. Is there a lot of eyes on me right now?
Not really. This house is like, the front of the house is like on the street, and most people are in the festival, and there's like other houses and stuff behind this, but you don't see anyone. Pretty much everyone's in the center of town.
I fucking shoot it.
Okay.
I shoot the shadow. Do you want to roll for that?
Yeah. However you're attacking it, make that roll.
All right. That's 2 successes.
Nice.
Okay. And what is this test that you're making? Like,
Ranged, agility,
okay.
shooting it with a bow.
All right. Shoot it with a bow. So draw your arrow back, you knock it. Because of that second success, actually roll your damage.
Yeah.
And then whatever because it's 2d6, roll roll 2d6.
All right. 6.
6 damage. Perfect. Okay. So with that, you really feel it's because of this second success. So you
Sure.
draw back, and it starts to move. And you can almost see like where the center of it is as
Yeah.
it's kind of balling up. And it looks like it's trying to kind of go along. It looks like it's trying to squeeze itself in a way that it could kind of go through the cracks and stuff of the cobblestone and the floor. It looks like it's trying to get to another shadow.
Sure.
And it's trying to stream itself that way. But as it's trying to pull itself and bunch up to do that, you see kind of the center of its mass. You let your arrow hit at it. Seems like it struck something and pings off. And this shadow like suddenly gets up and has a little bit of a form of it. You see almost like a dog-like type of shape. Kind of just it lets out this horrible sound. And it turns into smoke and dissipates. And all the shadows seem to be the right opacity.
Okay. I collect my arrow and then continue watching.
It's extremely cold.
I'm not surprised. That's some fucking ghostly shit right there. I'll make sure to talk to the rest of the crew after they're done reading, but yeah.
All right. Back inside, we have the other three. So you said that you wanted to like look at the maps and the books and scrolls and things.
Yeah.
And she says like, well, you know, normally I don't even really tell anyone that I have it, but I kind of a desperate scenario here, and I might even lose them anyways. So if someone else can get something out of it, it preserves it a little bit, I guess. And she slides, and one of these bookshelves has like a weird back to it, and there's like a bunch of books that were kind of like stuck together that were they're almost like glued or sewn in some way that they like move as one, and pulls it away, and behind it you see a bunch of books that were placed like flat against the back of the wall, and they seem to be a little bit shorter, and they were like on their side too, so they'd be hidden behind the others. She pulls out two of these books, and you've heard them be referred to as black books before, but they are like this bright red. And it's got like kind of these purple engravings. It's like a really nice looking, pretty, like a lot of time went into whoever etched out all these patterns and things. You see two books that look like that, like these bright kind of red covers with purple etchings on them. Then you see two rolled up. One's significantly bigger. You get the sense that's probably the map. And then another one is like another little scroll. She says, like, I haven't met anyone that can read these yet, but here they are.
Give it
We
a
can
shot.
sure try.
When I grab the book, do I sense any magic coming off of it?
You get kind of the same sense that you get when you touch your spell focus, that like you're able to channel through it. You get the sense that this book counts as a focus.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Let's flip it open and see if I can decipher it.
Yeah, maybe I'll take the other book then.
Yeah,
That way we
yeah.
can.
Okay. And they look pretty similar. And the patterns are very intricate. Like you're not even sure if there is supposed to be text on the outside of the cover, or if it's just symbols or something. Maybe it's just like an outer thing. But then when you open it, it's also like in a similar way. You can't really tell not even what language it is, how they write in this. Like you can't tell if they write left to right, or if there's like all sorts of weird shapes and things. Like it looks like they might start in the center and spiral out. Like it is really hard to tell how this was. You don't know if it's supposed to be words. You don't know if it's supposed to be like, it's just all over the place. That's at least like from your first impression of it. You can attempt to make a roll on it if you want to try and interpret it in some way. But just looking at it without rolling, it just looks crazy. You've never seen a book that looks like this.
Probably like wisdom lore, maybe, or would intellect discern.
And then this would definitely be occult as the context.
Okay. That gets me to 6 dice. Oh.
Wow.
I'll go ahead and push it for fun.
Okay.
I did not get
Didn't hurt
any
you.
more successes. No.
I'll push it for fun as well.
We both got to 3 successes.
Nice.
We're both smarties. Maybe
two
we're
physical
just
damage
guessing.
for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Ow!
And I'll say, because you take the damage, John,
Mm-hmm.
something that stuck out to you is like, it feels like a focus, feels like, like I feel like a magic kind of connection to this. You attempt to start channeling like magic through it, like you try to
Right.
attune to it almost in a way. And as you do that, it almost looks like whatever those are called. You know those like books where you kind of cross your eyes a little bit and then it
Like the 3D magic puzzle thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that type of thing starts happening. And it really like strains your eyes and stuff a little bit, like almost causes, for the 2 points, physical pain to you as you're like getting kind of overwhelmed by that. And Dan, you see this and you kind of see like what he's doing and you get the idea of it and you try the same thing, but a little bit more cautiously. So you don't get hurt by it. But you definitely learn like the way you have to read these is some like weird focusing of your eyes, and while you're channeling magic through it, realigns things. And it's the weirdest sensation. You open the book and it's reading in 3 dimensions. There's text stacked several layers up that's like floating above it. And depending on which angle you look at it, it has different information on it. It's still not a language that you understand, but at least it's text now. So you know the secret to being able to read from it.
While they're
Well,
looking at the books, could I look
We
at
got
the map?
somewhere.
Yeah, so you grab the map. And the map, you're not a caster, are you, Jake?
I am not a caster, no.
Okay. But regardless, like you don't get the sense that it feels like a spell focus or anything. It looks like a kind of like a normal map. But it's old, like the parchment's very, very old. And you know that this nation off to the east that's now called the Deep Basin, over 300 years ago is when it got destroyed. And this map gives off vibes that it might be older than that, because as you unroll it, you recognize the continent a little bit, but some of the names of some of the places are a little bit different. You see more roads mapped than there are currently. And then you see this map. Most maps that you have seen today just kind of end right at the east, because there's no need to go into the Deep Basin. It's bad. It's just, you hear all sorts of horror stories. A lot of them conflict with each other, but you've heard like the ground is made out of meat. You've heard there's monsters that are just awful. Trees grow into people, like so many horrible things and all these awful stories. It's kind of like a bedtime stories type thing that people like tell their kids, like, don't go out east, or eat your dinner or else you're gonna wake up in the in the Deep Basin, like a lot of that type of stuff. But most maps just kind of end where that border is. This map goes much farther on it, and you actually see some like names of places and things. And it's in a language that you don't know, but you can tell it's definitely like these are supposed to be names. It's not written in a weird way that you have to like focus weird, but it's just a map of this country that doesn't exist anymore.
Is there some way that maybe I could roll to see if I would recognize this from like a different map that I may have seen at some point in the past?
I mean, just right off the bat, you could tell like other maps that you've seen line up with the left part of it, right? Like you recognize that, like you see the country you're in now, you see the countries to the north, to the south, to the west. It's just you've never seen a map that goes this far east. Is that kind of what you're saying, or is there like something else that you're going for?
Like recognition of places, that sort of thing.
Sure. If you want to make like maybe a discern test or some other, if there's anything else that you feel like you can leverage.
All right, I'll try a discern test. I'll push it. Ooh.
2 successes. Okay. So you look at it closer, and you can tell that there are some names that line up with bigger settlements and kingdoms that you've heard of. Like one up to the north. You've heard of people talk about where you think Kethris is, and you know that stood before. That's one of the only countries that is still, and capitals and cities that is like was not interrupted by the Echo Blight at all. And you know that because they were so far north, all of the interference of the Echo Blight creatures and things just froze as they got up there. They weren't able to make it that far north. So that lines up. Some capital cities line up, and there's some other cities that you've heard there's probably ruins over there and things, but then there's other ones that you don't recognize. So with these 2 successes, you don't really know the names of things, but it's further confirmation that it lines up. And then there are some other locations that those might be ruins that people don't know about, because they're not mapped now, and there used to be cities there, so there might be cool stuff. So you would have like another few locations that you could go check out.
All right.
So that would turn this item basically into a map of unknown locations. That could be a D6 occult.
All right. I will roll up this map and see if I can't keep hold of it after a while.
Did we?
And
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and as you're like looking at that map, she says, "This is just normal paper. It's old. Like they usually burn these. I've seen a few like it, but not many people get to. And if they know you've seen it, you don't normally get treated very nicely. I don't know how they know. They seem to, though, sometimes. Just as they seem to know where these books are, I don't understand how they do that. But I've been here many years, so it's not instant."
Yeah.
Well, if you value the property, I would certainly recommend turning the books over to them at least.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, this is my home now, and she like.
What
you kinda
if
see there's,
we
like, a
took the
bedroom and-
books? And then they're not here anymore.
They wouldn't be here, but
That would paint
I
a
would
rather
rather-
large target on our backs.
yeah,
I can almost read it.
There was a scroll too, right?
there is a scroll. Yes,
Right, I'll take a look.
Let's check
at
out that
as
scroll. Yeah.
scroll. You get the same sense as like the spell focus thing,
Okay.
and you do know of scrolls that people use scrolls as spell focuses sometimes.
Right.
Not very often. They're usually used for people that haven't had time yet to record it to like a tome or something, but they're not uncommon.
Okay.
And it has a lot of the same sort of language and
Okay.
structure as the book does, where it's kind of all weird and spirally. And now you know that's because like you're not supposed to view it flat on 2 dimensions. You're supposed
Right.
to do like weird eye stuff to see it in multiple dimensions.
All right. Well, definitely written in kind of the same style. So, but I
Yeah.
can't make heads or tails of it.
She's kind of, you see, seems kind of stressed, but there's like a lot on her mind.
Yeah.
And back and forth. She's like, I don't want to lose the house. I can't move again. I've got my son now. He has friends here.
So,
That's my home, and I like the rest of the library. I am legitimately a librarian too, not just in.
and my concern is
contraband.
if you do turn them over to them, are they actually going to leave you alone, or is he still going to burn the place to the ground and do other bad things?
Well, that's part of the issue. I think is that if they come back and they're not here, they will know that I gave them away, and they don't care about me not having them. They care about nobody having them. These books that you're holding, they don't know how to destroy them, and they often will just erect massive pots of ink to soak them in for hours so that it completely stains the pages through and you can no longer read them. They don't even know how to read them as far as I'm concerned, but they'd rather nobody be able to. So I'm worried that
And yet,
I
Akara, you say
can't
you can
just give them away
almost
to you
read
now.
this?
I'm sorry, what?
Kari, you say you can almost read this?
I mean, like, I got words out of it.
I haven't seen anyone look at it that way. Your eyes kind of looked like they heard a little bit, but
Yeah, they did.
most people just look at it and kind of spin it and say they give up. So, and that's promising.
Now I
Might
don't
make you
want
more
to
of a
give
target.
up. Now I don't want to give up.
I'm almost tempted to keep it myself. It could be quite lucrative in terms of hunting down evil stuff.
What if
And
You,
we rob you?
Yes.
yeah.
In fact,
You can
I'm
make a
sure
big scene of
Rudiger
it.
upstairs would love the opportunity.
I'm sure that would seem rather convenient, though, to them, and be
Well,
hard
we could
for.
take a few extra things too, but you did say it seems like they can track the books themselves, right?
They seem to be. I don't have any idea how they found that I have them.
I mean, then they should know you don't have them.
Right, but they don't like when they don't like when people assist with offhanding them. Like if I were to give them to you right now, they would not appreciate
I mean,
that.
or maybe
I
we
would
could
still
just take them
probably
out
feel-
now and then take them with us.
She thinks it over for a little bit. She says, like, I really don't want to risk them thinking I aided you or thinking I helped you.
Oh, okay. Could you turn around?
But
How old
This is only going to
woman?
hurt for probably the
How
next
old is
3
this woman
days.
we're speaking to?
she looks to be in like her mid to late 50s. She's human.
I'll ask her to turn and face the other wall real quick.
She's like, that's a little suspicious. And she starts brainstorming for a little bit. And she kind of does look to the wall. She says, well, I guess if you wanted them, one thing you could do is steal it from them after they get them from me.
That is true.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Fair.
I don't really care what happens to them after they know that I don't have them anymore. But I'm just really afraid that if I gave them to you or if you stole them or even if I legitimately was robbed, that they wouldn't believe it and I would still lose my house. And
That is true. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep the map because I feel that they might burn it.
Yeah, they usually try to burn everything initially, and then they have some special ink that they.
Right.
It's very heavy, so they don't typically carry it around with them.
But yes, keep the books here. Go ahead and give it to them, and then I suppose we'll formulate a plan to
Rob them.
Get it back from them.
yes, for good, for righteousness, for
Yes, for the good,
yes.
And she says too,
obviously.
like, she says that I suspect that they only know that I have the books. I know other people that have just maps, and they don't seem to find them. So I'm not super worried about you taking the map, but the scroll and the books that I feel like they'll know, and I can't risk that. But they said that they will be back tonight, and if I don't give it over, then I lose everything. So
Back tonight. Well, that's just convenient.
That is convenient.
That is convenient.
Well,
We should let
thank you very
Rudiger
much
know.
for your assistance, which we forced you under the threat of duress to give to us.
oh yes,
Let me add, or else. And yeah.
You have a son to think about and his health, and so yes, we'll.
he's over like behind his bed, staring at you, John, the entire time.
That's
Like,
fair. Fair.
He does not like the spider tattoos.
The Spider-Man. That Spider-Man is a menace.
Yeah. Roll up the scroll and swat him with it now.
Go back to bed, Jameson.
All right.
All right. Well, let's go get Rudiger and plot a robbery.
Yeah. We're going to plan to
Guys.
steal.
A mugging.
Reconvene
Really.
outside. Door opens up. Rudiger, you see your three friends emerge.
Guys.
Any
We're going to
trouble?
do some stealing.
Yeah, I killed a fucking like shadow demon thing.
Really?
That's horrifying.
Yeah, like I went to go hide and I saw that the shadow was moving, so I followed it, and then like the shadow was moving more, so I fucking shot it with an arrow, and it like dissipated into smoke.
Well, we were gonna rob her, but then she suggested we rob them. So I guess we're gonna do that because
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love those books.
In the meantime, we do have this spiffy map to look over.
Nice.
But yeah, we should be able to
Uh,
meet up with the Inquisitor tonight after they've got the books. And these books are very fascinating. I think you'll want to take a look at them.
I'm down.
Right. Very well.
And with that, we're going to wrap our first session. Planning on finding a way to smuggle some contraband away from Catherine Inquisitors.
Boggle.
Starting off doing good things here.
Yeah.
Contraband.
Oh, yeah.
Doing great.
A little bit more dark than a puff and toss.
You know, it had to go somewhere.
Because you succeeded at the puff and toss, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been dark, too.
Mercifully, there was
All
no
right.
violent panning of the puppets.
I was having some real
Yeah.
Fable, flashes during that puffin part.
Right, he's a chicken
Oh,
chaser,
yeah.
isn't he?
It's a chicken chicks. I was
I have
thinking the
not played
crunchy
it.
chicks.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is. But
So in the first Fable game, they have these snacks called crunchy chicks that you can eat. And when you eat them, it immediately like increases your evil because you're
one
eating
point.
baby chickens.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, evil
That's right.
ones
That's
are
like
very easy.
that's like a morality
Yeah.
Yeah.
meter thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Knights of the Old Republic.
Yep.
It's a game that does that too.
But
You
even
get to
more
choose
so,
which color
'cause it was
Kool-Aid
like-
you're drinking.
It was very
Yeah.
much like anything you did. Oh, did you fart at a bunch of people? Get a point of evil.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Pretty low
anyway,
bar
come check
for
out our
evil.
Discord where you can see me messaging Sean Puffy Combs about pork sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love
Awesome.
some of the other stuff that was on there. Like because there's like home, fuck it, act bad, contact.
Yeah, Diddy's website's a trip.
Okay.
Good. Yeah. Thanks for playing, everyone. It was a fun first session kicking off the maiden campaign of Anvea. You guys went the route of this. There was a few, like, pretty much every interesting figure had their own, like, trail they were going to go down. So this is probably the highest stakes one that you picked, so that's fun.
Good job, us.
And I still have
Great-
that trouble that I
Great
haven't
evil
burned.
will be afoot. Whether we fight it or become it, who can say?
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I'm
If
looking forward to
you-
playing more of this.
If you didn't kill that shadow thing right then, it had 3 health, but it also had 3 damage reduction. So
Oh,
if you don't crit it, it takes a while to kill it.
okay.
Usually.
I got it on the first shot. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. If you didn't kill it, I was going to burn my complication on it for it to get away and tell them early. But
Okay.
now I get to save my complication for
You do.
next time. That's all that means.
Yeah, now that the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
Getting
boy.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. What else are we doing this week, Chuck? What's on the...
So Saturday night over on Goodman Games Official, we got Weird Frontiers for our show Danger Strangers. Everyone here, but sadly not John, will be there playing some Weird Frontiers as Bert runs us through that.
Should be the final episode
Of the current.
of the Weird Frontiers
Oh,
stretch.
Are we done with Weird Frontiers after that?
Well, I don't know, but this is like
No,
we're
I
heading
think
up
there's
to
still
our
one-
ultimate conflict. That
I think there's still like one more section. We're ending this section.
that's
I
right.
think.
After we complete
Yeah.
Our questionable
like-
quest,
Yeah.
big arc.
Big arc.
I feel like every time you plug it, it's like, and it's the last one. And then it's like, I guess
There's a lot of small arcs in it.
Gotcha.
There's-
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It's
cool,
we've
though.
gone through like 6 or 7 story arcs that have been kind of chained together.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And there is one more. Yes. Now that yes.
We'll have all of the what is it that we're assembling?
The Necronomicon.
Oh
The
yeah.
Necronomicon, yeah.
Evil books, huh?
Evil
There's a running
books.
theme here.
Yeah. And then Wednesday we'll be back for some Night Below using Dungeon Crawl Classics. Next Friday we're back here for more Anvea. John, I think we got something on the YouTube. I'm not sure.
We do have something on the Defenders of Cobalt YouTube channel. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, there are new episodes of our Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play of the Age of Ashes adventure path. Oops, all goblins, because everyone's goblins, and let the chaos reign.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is. Anyone got anything else?
Great. Nope. Come back in a week and we'll be doing session 2. Aiming for this to be like a little bit longer than the Heart campaign. Not sure how much longer, but
We've
just kinda how it plays out.
certainly led you on long enough, Joe. So you take as much time as you want.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. We'll play until it falls apart, or you guys buy every advance or something. We'll see.
Okay.
But
Till the wheels fall off and it's on fire.
That's it.
yeah,
There we go.
Jesus, take the wheel. Not that one, Jesus.
yeah. Thanks again, everyone. It was fun. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.